Okay, welcome to Chapter 2, Lesson 5, the last lesson for Chapter 2. Your learning target or objective for this lesson is to solve multi-step equations. There are two vocabulary words for this lesson. Your first one is null set, when there is no solution to the equation. It can also be known as the empty set. And also, there are two symbols for the null or the empty set. First one would be with a zero, a line through it, or you have brackets with nothing in the middle. Each represent null set or empty set. And your other vocabulary word for this lesson is identity. It means when every number is a solution to the equation. Pause the video to write down the definitions. Once you're done, you may proceed to the next slide. Okay, our key concept for this lesson is number of solutions. So as we look at this chart, we can look at null sets, our one solution, and our identity. Okay, the words null set means no solution. Our one solution, words are one solution. And our identity, the word would be infinitely many solutions. Okay, symbols representing these solutions are null set with A equals B. The symbols that represent the one solution is X equals A. And identity, the symbol is A equals A. Okay, we'll look at some examples of these. Put them in there for you for a little bit more so you can understand them. Okay, let's look at the example for the null set. We have 3x plus 4 equals 3x. Okay, from the previous lesson, we know we have to get variables on both sides, on one side of the equation. So we're going to move the 3x to either side. So we have to subtract 3x. They all cancel out, just leaving us 4 equals 0. Since 4 does not equal 0, there is no solution. So this would be an empty set or a null set, represented by slash to the 0 or the empty brackets. Okay, let's take a look at an example for our one solution. Our equation is 2x equals 20. Once again, we have the 2x, a coefficient in front of a variable, which means multiplication. So you have to divide that coefficient to get rid of it. So you have to divide it on each side of the equation by 2 here. 2 divided by 2 cancels out, leaving us our x. Drop down our equal sign, and 20 divided by 2 is 10. So our one solution for this equation is x equals 10. And looking over at our identity, we have 4x plus 2 equals 4x plus 2. Once again, moving our variables to one side of the equation, we have to subtract 4x from one side and the other, leaving us 4x minus x. 4x cancels out, leaving us 2 equals. 4x minus 4x cancels out, leaving us 2. Since 2 equals 2, the solution is all numbers. Let's say we put 10 in there. For x, we had 4 times 10 plus 2 equals 4 times 10 plus 2. 4 times 10 is 40, plus 2 is 42. Our equal sign, 4 times 10 is 40, plus 2 equals 42. So it would not matter what number you put in there, all numbers are a solution. Okay, let's move on to some examples. Okay, let's look at our first example. 15 parentheses 20 plus 4d equals 420. Number outside of parentheses means you need to distribute that number to everything inside the parentheses by multiplication. So we're going to multiply the 15 times the 20, 15 times the d, 15 times 20, get us 300, plus 15 times d is 15d equals 420. Okay, now we have a number. Let's get rid of the number that is not associated with the variable, which is 300. nothing out in front of it. It's a plus. We need to subtract 300 from both sides. Okay. This will cancel out. So our 15d equals 420 minus 300 is 120. Now we have a coefficient with a variable, 15nd, which means multiplication. We have to do the opposite to get rid of the 15, which is divide. So we have to divide on both sides of the equation, because what you do to one side, you have to do to the other. So now we have 15 over here. These cancel out, leaving us our d equals 120 divided by 15, which is 8. Okay. Then you can plug the 8 back into there and find out that d does equal 8, and that is correct. Okay, let's look at our other example we have on here. 6, parentheses 6 minus x minus 3 plus 10 equals 2, parentheses 3x minus 4. Okay, once again, we have to distribute the 6 to everything inside the parentheses as well as the 2 by multiplication. So we have 6 times x, which gives us 6x. 6 times a negative 3 is negative 18 plus 10 equals 2 times a 3x, it gives us 6x. And 2 times a negative 4 gives us negative 8. Okay, once again, let's get our variables to one side or the other. Looking at their coefficients, they are both the same, both positive. So we'll just subtract 6x from over here. And 6x minus 6x is 0. We got a negative 18 plus 10 equals, these cancel out, 0, negative 8. Now we have a negative 18 plus 10 gets us negative 8 equals negative 8. So once again, this is our identity, where negative 8 equals negative 8. So no matter what number you put in for x, it would solve any. Okay, let's move on to our next example. 8 times parentheses 4 minus 2x equals 4 times the parentheses 3 minus 5x plus 4x. Okay, once again, let's distribute the 8 to everything inside, and the 4 goes to everything inside, multiplying. 8 times 4 is 32. 8 times a negative 2x is negative 16x equals 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times a negative 5x is negative 20x plus 4x. Okay, first of all, let's get our x's all lined up here. So we have 32 minus 16x equals 12. And negative 20x plus a positive 4x gives us negative 16x. Okay, let's get our variables to one side. Let's look at our coefficient. We have a negative 16 and a negative 16. Once again, they're the same. So we're going to be adding 16x to both sides, which will give us 32. These will cancel out. Our equal sign drops down. On the 12, these cancel out. Now 32 does not equal 12. So this is a null set, an empty set, or our symbols with the line through it, or our empty bracket set. Okay, let's look at our real world example for this lesson. At the fair, Hunter bought 3 snacks and 10 ride tickets. Each ride ticket cost $1.50 less than the snack. If he spent a total of $24, what was the cost of each ticket? So first, let's look at key. I'm sorry, I shouldn't say ticket. It should say snack. That's a snack. Okay, first, let's underline key things in the word problem. Pause the video, underline, and come back and double check your answers. Okay, That's a S is going to represent the snack. Okay, and let's look at our equation. Okay, we have 3S plus 10 times the parentheses S minus 1.5 equals 24. How did we get that? Here's how we got that. Our 3 is going to represent the 3 snacks that Hunter bought. Once again, we don't know the price of the snacks, so that's just going to be represented by S. And then the 10 ride tickets, those are represented by this part of the equation. Okay, here's our 10 for our 10 ride tickets. Then each of those tickets was $1.50 less than the snack. So that's how we have the negative, or S minus 1.5 or 150, if you want to put the 0 in there, equals the $24 that Hunter spent. Okay, now let's solve the equation to find out how much the cost of each snack was. So first we're going to distribute the 10 into the parentheses. Okay, so we have the 3S plus our 10S minus our 15 equals 24. Okay, now let's add up our variables. So since they're on the same side of the equation, we have 3S plus 10S gets us 13S minus 15 equals 24. Okay, now let's get rid of the number that is not associated with the variable on the left side of the equation, which is negative 15. So we do the opposite, which is add. We're going to add 15 to both sides of the equation. This is 13S on one side. These will cancel out. 24 plus 15 gets us 39. Okay, now we have a coefficient in front of a variable, which means multiplication. Let's do the opposite to get rid of the 13, which is divide. Divide each side by 13. You can cancel out. Here's our S equals 39 divided by 13 is 3. So each snack costs Hunter $3 at the fair. Okay, this is our last example for this lesson. Please write down any questions you have concerning this lesson, and you will proceed to the activity for lesson number 5.